Hello, folks. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I wanted to get in here and say hello to y'all and hope you're doing okay. But what I wanted to talk about is I was thinking about that, what they're saying about that bird flu and stuff, folks. They're saying that it can jump the cows. Well, folks, think about it. Cows are a totally different animal to a chicken or a duck or a goose. How can something like that jump from a fowl to a mammal? Just think about that, folks. I mean, this is just my opinion. Doesn't mean that I can't be wrong, but I've never heard of that, folks. It sounds to me like they're starting the same old stuff that they did back when they was saying that coronavirus thing, that so-called coronavirus, they were saying things about that too. And, I just find it hard to believe that a cow can get the bird flu, folks, because cows and chickens and that are two different kinds of animals. And I think what it is, folks, eggs are up there pretty high right now. And I think that what the whole ideal is they're wanting to raise the prices on eggs and things like that, folks. It's called price gouging. And I think this is what it's all about is they don't want you to be self-sufficient, because if you're self-sufficient, then you're not in the store paying the price that they expect you to for whatever they're charging you for. It's all about money, folks. That's what I believe, because this world has gotten so greedy and everything that they're willing to sit there and tell people that with a cow and a chicken being two different kinds of animals, that bird flu can get into the cow, folks. If you just stop and think about that, that just don't sound right. There's something wrong with that picture when they can sit there and say that a cow can get the bird flu. I don't know who's running things, up in the up there where they're saying all this stuff, folks. But I think I think that somebody needs to learn the difference between a mammal and a poultry, because that just sounds ridiculous, folks. Just like with all this coronavirus stuff, where they was trying to say that it jumped from monkeys to human beings and things like that. Well, that tells me that I hope I say this right, folks. This is just what I've been thinking about. But if it's able to jump, if that virus, whatever it is able to affect cows too, then that right there says that it's probably not the bird flu. It's probably something else. Because, for them to sit up there and say that it's jumping from a bird to a cow, it just doesn't make any sense, folks. Because it's called the bird flu. They're calling it the bird flu. But that's just like with the coronavirus. I personally believe that the so-called coronavirus was some kind of an influenza that affected people in a different way, but I don't really, I think that they took that influenza and tacked the name coronavirus on it, but I don't really think that's what it was, folks. I'm sorry, but I just don't believe it, you know. I think that they can take a sickness like that and tack any kind of name to it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what it is. So, you know, it sounds like them Democrats are still at work trying to scare people and make them think different things about situations, folks. Because that's just, you know, that's just crazy, folks. That sounds like somebody's talking way out there somewhere or something. But, you know, who am I? I'm just a person that just sits and thinks about things like that. But I tell you what, since I've come from the way down from eastern Kentucky here to E-Town, I've heard more about different kinds of sicknesses than I've ever heard in my life. Because when I lived down in eastern Kentucky, folks, we didn't even think about things like that. All except for when the swine flu, all except for whenever that hit. You know, then we all started thinking about it because there was a lot of people that got it. And I'm one of them. I had the swine flu. And let me tell you something, folks, you don't never want to get that. That's no joke. Because it really, you run a fever for about a total week with it. And then after the first week, then you start coming out from under it. And it makes you feel real weak. You know, because your body temperature goes way up real high and stays up like that for a few days, and then it goes down. And then once you come out from under it, you just feel really drained, you know, and weak and stuff. And I had that back when I was a lot younger. So I can imagine how that probably affected the elderly people. But I hope your guys' night is going good, folks. And, you know, my husband had to go out and take care of some business earlier, and I was kind of tired, so I laid down and took myself a nap for a while. And that's the reason that I'm getting in here so late. But yeah, I was just thinking about how silly that sounded, folks. You know, but in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I believe that they're coming out with that so-called bird flu, because they don't want people to be self-sufficient. They don't want people to own cows, because cows produce milk and cheese and butter and things like that, folks, because that's what I grew up on. And they don't want you to have eggs because they're charging almost $10 a carton for eggs. And that's crazy, folks. You used to be able to get eggs pretty cheap in the store. But I tell you, all the prices and things like that's going up so high, folks, that I don't even know how the poor, real poor people, you know, people that's kind of living close to poverty and things like that, I don't even know how they function, because that's a pretty rough situation. I just don't know, folks. I tell you, in the last few years, we've really had a rough time, you know, with all this different stuff going around, folks. You know, and what aggravates me about the whole situation is, when you go to the doctor anymore, the first thing they want to do is run a Q-tip up your nose and find out if you got that so-called coronavirus. And, I just tell them no. Because that's just like when I went to the doctor Monday. Uh, I did, because I'm a little older, folks, I did get my flu shot. But that doctor said something about he was going to give me a pneumonia shot. And I said, no, I ain't going to get no pneumonia shot. Because I really don't think that all them shots like that's good for you, folks. It might be good for one thing, but then it might turn around and mess up another. Just like that allergy medicine that they gave me, it's supposed to help with the allergies, but also there's a good chance that it can mess up your kidneys and stuff too, folks. So I just said, no, I'm not going to do all that stuff. And so I just wanted to get on here and talk to y'all about this. And I hope you all enjoy this video, folks. And I hope you have a good night and a blessed night too. You got this, folks. You're awesome. Bye-bye.